All There Is, your podcast. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's a podcast I started. I was going through my mom's stuff after she died and packing up her apartment, a process all of us, will go through in our lives. And I just found it to be a really difficult thing to do. I was going through a lot of my dad's stuff and my brother's stuff that she had packed away and not dealt with. And I just started making these recordings on my iPhone to kind of narrate myself through it. And I realized that this is this universal experience that sadly we will all go through at some point in our life. And I thought, why not sort of put together these recordings and make a podcast? So it's a podcast called All There Is, and it's about the people we lose and the things they leave behind and how all of us can live on with loss and with love and with laughter. And yeah, the response to it has been really extraordinary.
It's really interesting also because your mom, Gloria, was such a collector of things.
Yes.
And when you look back and see that what she saved, and it seems like
everything had history to it.
Everything had history.
Yeah, and so that's the thing for me that's been hard is it's not that everything was like valuable, it's everything had personal history for her. So, something, a mug belonged to her mother before her, and, I knew the stories. And when you're the last one standing, when you're the last surviving member of your little immediate family that you grew up in, it's like you're the last one who's the holder of all those memories, and to sort of get rid of all this stuff.
You have to document it so that there is a record.
Right, because if you die, then all those stories, everything disappears. But it's been great. I'm talking to some amazing people. Stephen Colbert was on the second episode.
You two have quite a relationship. It feels like you have bonded so much over your shared loss.
Yeah.
Because people don't know how to address loss with people who have experience.
Yeah, it certainly makes people uncomfortable, and people ignore it. And I've done that too. You don't know what to say, so you don't say anything. One of the things that Stephen says, which I think is so true, is his father and two of his brothers were killed in a plane crash when he was 10 years old. My dad died when I was 10. But he always says, I can't believe every day somebody isn't asking me about Peter or Paul, which were the names of his brothers, because it's something he's thinking about every day. And so I enjoy talking about my brother and my dad and my mom. And I think most people out there, if they're grieving, if they're feeling loss, like it when somebody just acknowledges what they're going through, even if it's just saying, I'm so sorry for your loss. Ignoring it is sort of...
But many people, including us, find it difficult to say the right thing or at the right time. And
which is totally understandable. But I think even just saying that to somebody is, you know what, I'm not sure what to say, but I'm thinking about you, and my heart goes out to you.
I think I told you this before, but my girlfriend's husband died several years ago, and one of our girlfriends came in. We were all sort of sitting together, and nobody knew what to say. And she's a therapist, and she just seems to always strike the right note no matter what. And she hugged her, and she goes, I'm sorry for your loss, sweetie, and all the other dumb things people say at a time like this. And I was like, oh, that's actually the right thing to say, because we've all been trying to piece things together to make her feel better, and none of that helps.
The other thing that's interesting about loss and grief is that it is so lonely, and you feel, for anybody who's watching right now, going through it, even if it's 30 years ago or 40 years ago that you had that loss, you carry it with you, and yet it is this bond that we all share. So it's not something which, in the best of all worlds, would not make us feel so alone. It would actually make us feel the most human that we can be, as Stephen Colbert has said, and actually links us all to each other. And so the ability to talk about it openly and talk about it with other people it makes a huge difference. And to hear other people's experiences with it.